Hello, everyone, and welcome to a few short redos we're doing. So, we did Star Fox 64 way back in the day on Wii Virtual Console. So now it's time to do the 3DS version. That looks a lot spiffier. Huzzah!
That commentary is ancient.
Yes, it is. That's why we're redoing this.
Like super ancient. No, is it redoing it? Yeah, okay. We're redoing it with the hot new release of Star Fox 3D. Released.
Man, the killer app of the 3DS. Man, this will get them to buy our new console. A remake of a 14-year-old game.
They only did this because they did Ocarina of Time 3D, right?
Yeah.
Like that was like the prerogative around the time was just remaking a bunch of N64 classics on the 3DS, which I think, yeah, you know what really needed that? Mario 64.
They already did that, again, John.
No, but they pulled the trigger too early on that on the DS.
They need the circle pad for 64.
Oh, man. Oh, God. This somehow looks jankier with better models. I don't know why.
Well, because the animations are still N64 based. They just tweaked up the models. I know Falco looks pretty, but Falco looks like he's on some sort of like exercise machine.
I'm just imagining running in the 90s playing.
Yeah.
For this. Man, getting to the point where we're like more than 10 years out from the 3DS's launch, God, that hurts my stomach. It's hard to overstate how rough the 3DS's start was and how lucky Nintendo is that they managed to get this thing off the ground the way that they did. Like, don't get me wrong, Star Fox 64 I do think is a good game to show as a tech demo for the 3DS. Because, like, I'm thinking of games that they had available already to show off the 3D function. Star Fox is actually a pretty good choice. Like, the general view, what you're trying to do. It's short, it's snappy. Like, you get to show off an old game, but how good the hardware is in the 3D effect. Like, I think that's all great. But I don't know who in Nintendo thought it was a good idea that, you want to know what we need to release on our brand new console? Steel Diver and Pilot Wings. Then we'll leave them waiting for 6 months. But wait for it.
Yeah.
We'll release Star Fox and Ocarina of Time that they can download on their Wii's already. Yeah, that'll bring in that sweet.
Just to turn the clock back to the 3DS's launch, just as a reminder, or maybe they didn't know, the only first-party Nintendo games that were out around this time was Pilot Wings Resort, Steel Diver, and Nintendogs Plus Cats. Now, Nintendogs Plus Cats, you can make an argument for, is like, people did play Nintendogs a lot on the DS. That's fair. But after that, it's all third-party games, and most of them, I don't even remember.
Don't you want to play Street Fighter 4 on your 3DS?
So Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition I did purchase because I really liked Street Fighter 4 around that time, but I immediately returned it after a weekend when I realized the backgrounds were static. And it bothered the shit out of me.
There's Super Monkey Ball 3D, which is like fine.
Let me see. The Sims 3, Madden NFL Football. It doesn't even have a year on it. It just says Madden NFL Football.
Oh, wow.
Pro Evolution Soccer 2011. That has a year on it. Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. Ridge Racer 3D. Super Monkey Ball 3D. Bust a Move Universe. Samurai Warriors Chronicles. Asphalt 3D. Combat of Giants Dinosaurs 3D. Rayman 3D, which I think was just based off of Rayman 2.
Yeah, and apparently that version's terrible.
Okay.
So don't.
And Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars.
To put it into perspective, there isn't a single RPG released on the 3DS until like August 2011, which is Devil Survivor, a Shin Megami Tensei spinoff. So, not going to bring in the RPG fans with that one. So, yeah, I have no idea how the hell the 3DS managed to survive the way it did, but I'm grateful for it because the 3DS would eventually become one of my favorite systems of all time. But at the time, like, I was more excited to get my 3DS to be able to continue playing Pokemon Black and White because my old DS had broke, and I wanted to keep playing Pokemon Black and White because that game is good.
I got my 3DS like around launch time just because it was a safe assumption that it was going to pop later down the road. Right.
I mean, people would have thought that about the Wii U too,
and to be fair, most Nintendo fans did. It was, the casual audience that didn't buy it and that's ultimately what mattered.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough. I mean, I am ultimately grateful that the 3DS survived because, again, I think the system's one of the best Nintendo's ever done. It's just, I don't know. Like, I think the game that signaled like the system finally like coming into its own was probably Kid Icarus Uprising. But it's still kind of a wonder that it managed to sell well even then, because the only other games on it of any note were like Mario Kart and Mario 3D Land. And Mario 3D Land is kind of meh in today's
I think it's a
notion.
good game, but it's not an exciting game.
I don't think I'm ever gonna go back and replay Mario 3D Land. I don't really see any reason to. I mean,
No, I think Ryan hit the nail on the head. It's a very sterile vanilla 3D Mario game experience. Like it is perfectly fine.
yeah, but like, hold on, I wanna pull up a list of Nintendo like.
Speaking of 3DS, so I hope you bought all your games already because everything's going up way in price.
Oh God, I haven't even.
Oh, boy.
I haven't even looked.
If you haven't bought your Kid Icarus Uprisings yet.
The Star Fox 64 is really expensive nowadays.
To be fair, though, like, well, not to be fair, because I don't think anyone should grouch at the prices just because it's not really available as much as anymore. But, like, Star Fox 3D, to get into the game itself, like, I think this is a fantastic recreation of the game.
Oh no, the game
Like-
looks fantastic.
It's
And
functionally the best version of the game.
I would have to agree. Although it doesn't, I don't like what it does for the gyro steering as an option. Thankfully, you don't have to use it.
No, but it is an option for those who want it.
This game does give you a choice. Yeah. So the thing with Star Fox 64 3D gives you the option for gyro steering, which normally I'm not against because I genuinely enjoyed that. However, in this game, when you're tilting steering the ship requires you tilting the entire fucking handheld.
yeah, not to mention that if you actually want to play with the 3D on, it screws with the 3D effect like nothing else.
Yeah.
Because the 3D effect, for those who like only have the 2DS or just never bought one, the 3D effect kind of requires you to hold the DS in a specific spot so that you're looking at it the right
Yeah.
way. And generally speaking, I do still think that the 3D effect looks pretty good, even by today's standards. Later revisions of the hardware would make that window a little bit bigger, but with a launch 3DS, you gotta basically hold it pretty still, otherwise screen gets blurry and you'll get a headache.
Yeah, like it's something that I think they would do better with Star Fox Zero. But
The motion control?
I think, yeah, gyro aiming, motion control in general, like, but I think in 3D, considering that you have no choice but to tilt everything because of its handheld nature, they probably should have just waited a bit on that one because it didn't give me the best first impression. But again, the game gives you a choice just to have standard controls and that sort of shit. And on standard controls, yeah, this game is a fantastic recreation of 64. Does it beat the original though? Like, I would argue there's still merit to playing the original game just because it's on a console and not so much on a handheld, and I feel you're better in control of yourself with the N64 controller. But what do you guys think? Like, if you were to go back to 64, are you playing this version or are you going back to the N64?
I'm not a big Star Fox guy, so I actually don't own this version of the game.
I thought you were gonna. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't be a smartass and say I'd rather play Pikmin 2.
No, I'd play Star Fox 64 before Pikmin 2. What are you, crazy?
I usually go back to this version because Star Fox 64 is such a pick up and put down game that I'll usually just play it like when I'm laying in bed instead of reading something or something like that. So
Yeah, this is one of those kinds of games that is great for handheld sort of playing. Like, you can get a run done in an hour, which is, I think, part of the problem that they've had since in trying to make a new Star Fox game. Like, that's part of Star Fox Zero's problem, is that it takes 4 hours to get a real handle on the controls, and then the campaign's over in 3. So it's like, ooh, well, about that.
what they really need to do is just make it a download only title for like $30.
I mean, I think that would be great. Yeah, I'm not to say that there's not merit in having shorter games, Like, Mario Wonder came out this weekend. I don't think that campaign's going to be much more than 10 hours. And that's a game that I think is fully worth the $60 price tag.
Wait, just playing it normally or 100%?
Playing it normally. 100%ing it's probably going to be a lot longer, but like a short game can still be worth its full price tag, just depending on how good it is. But with that said, I think for a game like this, I feel like it's going to be a hard sell for some people to spend the full retail price on it. Not that that's particularly right. I just think that is the case.
Yeah, I don't think outside of Zero and the older console games beforehand, especially the original Star Fox, I don't think like Star Fox rarely goes for full retail price anymore.
Well, you'd have to have releases in order to have a price history. Yuck, 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 yuck,
You're
yuck.
not wrong.
But in terms of the Star Fox games that did release, wasn't the original Star Fox actually one of the more expensive games because it needed the super
yes.
effects?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crank the price up to
I
like
think it was $90 at the time, but that was like $130 now.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, I don't know how people in the SNES days did it because I can't imagine paying 130 days.
Well,
dollars
I mean,
for
it
original
was
Star
either
Fox.
that or I mean, you were kind of lacking for options. Though, to be fair, just in terms of just like variety, like you either got the game on the Super Nintendo or you got the game on the Sega Genesis, and I doubt you were actually buying anything for your 3DO. Okay, it's not actually your 3DO; it's probably your uncle's that probably had it. But I think it was just there was less to consider, so whatever you purchased. Oh no, I mean rental stores.
Yeah, rental stores as well.
Yeah, because I'm trying to convince my mom to buy me a $100 game, and I think she would have laughed at me, probably.
I mean, you got what was at the store at the time, so.
Yeah. That also has to suck, though, when you think about how expensive games used to be, and then if you get a bad one, like, that's got to hurt even more. Like
That's why you go to the rental store first.
Yeah, that's why rent the game first at a Blockbuster, see if you like it, and then convince your folks to purchase it for you. Or you just never return the game to the Blockbuster.
And then you're kicked out of there for the rest of your life.
No, it's just an alias.
So, Mr.
Johnny, who is Johnny? I am Guy Incognito.
Mr. Jack.
Hello,
and
I am
Hoff.
Mr. Snrub.
Mr. S. Mel Butts.
I think all games should be $15. I agree with Mr. Slub's idea.
Oh, man. Did the original Star Fox 64 and N64 come with the
It came with
Rumble
a Rumble
Pack?
Pack, yes. It
Okay, did that drive the price for that up?
I don't think it did.
No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Because I know that Donkey Kong 64 was more expensive because it needed to come with a expansion pack. Which was just like a RAM expansion, right? Like that's
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's literally all it did.
Okay. To this day, nobody knows why the expansion pack fixes Donkey Kong 64. It just does.
No, I think they did figure it out why it did it. I can't remember the reason.
Yeah, I don't remember the urban legend for the longest time is that it fixed a bug in the memory, and he needed the expansion pack just to fix it. But Rare would later say, no, that was never true.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't remember the exact reason. I remember looking into it when I was doing the DK64 video, but it eludes me right now. But yeah, this game's original release was bundled with the Rumble Pack for a cool vibration action, which is the funniest shit for me because there was a promotional VHS tape for Star Fox 64.
That thing's hilarious.
Yeah, and I find it funny that the best way that they demonstrated the Rumble Pack was just like having Star Fox die.
Yeah.
Because, your ship's exploding, so the control's going to vibrate really,
His
really
name's
hard.
not Star Fox, John. His name's Fox McCloud, leader of the Star Fox team.
Right.
Or if you're in Europe, it's Silent Wars.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but that doesn't count. Nobody cares. No,
I love John Star Fox.
Yeah, John Star Fox is my favorite character. Did you know that Mario's first name is actually Super?
Wow, man, Super Mario? Jeez.
Middle
What
name
about
Mario,
Luigi?
last name Brothers.
Oh, fuck, it turned around. How do you do that?
Listen, 1997 was a different time. This was impressive. Did Star Fox come out before or after Ocarina of Time?
Before.
Before, okay.
Before, yes.
Okay.
This was 97?
Yes. Ocarina of Time was 98.
I want to say. Yeah. And for all intents and purposes, it was just a better SNES game.
Yeah.
You know, like once 64 came out, you had no reason to play the original anymore because this is not only a reboot of the game already after just one entry. We don't count two. But it was just
better.
conceivably better in every way that you can imagine.
It's tough playing Super Nintendo.
I can go back to it because I grew up with it. So it has a nostalgia bias for me. But yeah, like when I first reviewed this game years ago on the channel for the Star Fox series, that was legit the first time I was playing it for myself front to back. And I was like, holy, I can't believe I was fucking sleeping on this for so long. But I didn't have an N64 growing up, so I didn't know. But yeah, I played it and I couldn't put it down for a while. The only thing I didn't do was get all the gold medals because that was time I didn't have.
Yeah.
To get the gold medals, you have to get a high enough score, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm bad at these games, so I never could do that. I could barely beat the easy mode route in this because I'm trash.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what are you showcasing for this revisit? Are
Every
you
level.
doing a particular? Okay, so it's an all level showcase,
Okay.
right?
Because there's like a bunch of different like paths too in like each level and whatnot, so you can zip crisscross through all the routes and whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm showing every level. I'm not showing every ending because that would be pointless, but
Also, you bloat recording sessions,
Yeah.
more than they need to.
Yeah,
It's kind of the thing about doing commentaries over games that have multiple pathways or alternate endings is like, which one are you going to commit to? Because
recording Shadow the
I
Hedgehog
don't have the time.
sucked, for the record. I just
What, you
straight
don't like
on
the
did
stop
not
list at times?
return. I just straight up did not turn on my recording software like for most of the playthroughs by the time I got to the end because it's like I'm not wasting 50 gigabytes of space recording fucking 4 levels I've already done before. Fuck that. Oh, this game lets you like start in the middle of a run, right? So you don't have to start from Corneria if you
Yeah.
fuck up. Okay. I do appreciate that because this is like the N64 period is like kind of the last bastion of games that don't have their own internal memory. So you can't save in this game. Well, you can't save your progress, I guess is the best way to put it. If
you can save your score and stuff in N64, but you couldn't save your run.
Yeah, so like if you are playing and then you have to go to soccer practice, you can't like turn the game off and come back to it later at Venom or whatnot. You have to start from the beginning or leave the game paused and turn the TV off.
There is also, in this version, there is also a, I don't want to say practice mode, I think a score attack mode where you can play any mission you want.
Okay, that's good. Look, it's a meme.
Can't let you brew that Starbucks.
Fucking just what a joke.
Pigma balls.
Slippy,
Oh,
no.
I forgot about Andrew. God. There's so many. The Star Fox lore is so weird to me. Because I think Star Fox. Oh, wow. You already killed Wolf.
Hey, what a bitch.
Star
It's almost
Fox
like I've
is-
been playing this game since I was 7.
It's like the Star Fox is the weirdest cross section of like games that should have lore and the amount of lore that it actually has. Like Star Fox's story should not matter even a little bit, but it has so many characters and character relationships and soap opera drama bullshit. It's like, why?
I would say it's worth getting invested in the characters and whatever lore there is, just for the sake of making your Star Fox Command experience the funniest fucking shit you'll ever experience in this goddamn franchise.
Bro, I
every-
love
make
finding
everyone
out
burp.
that Slippy got laid more often than any other character in the Star Fox canon. Hilarious.
I love that fucking Fox gets so down bad astronomical that he just becomes a G0 racer with Falco, his actual love.
Oh, dude. Hold on. I'm gonna go on to fanfic.net and I'm gonna
Slippy, no.
okay. I'm gonna search Fox X Falco, and you're gonna tell me how many stories you think that there are for Fox X Falco on an archive of
That's an unquantifiable number, Ted. You know this.
Okay, so how many do you think that there are for Fox X Falco on fanfic.net?
All right, so we're doing prices right. So here.
Yeah, closest without going over.
Okay. 5,200.
5,200? You're sure?
Yes.
You're sure.
No, I'm just throwing a number out there.
Okay, Ryan, I need your number. 1,200. Okay, those are both good guesses. I will let you know once the fucking website stops being a piece of shit and lets me actually fucking look it up.
I think you probably should have preloaded the website.
I was in the middle of preloading the website. I just couldn't. It's just not loading. Shit. Okay. Well, the answer will be lost to the recesses of time.
No.
Because
to give them the answer at the beginning of next part. Give them a reason to come back.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Come back next time, or you could just Google it yourself. I don't fucking care.
They're not gonna do that.
No, they're not.